Well, I am gonna need to do some cleanup around here after doing the old motor swap. Got to pull some of that stuff off, file some stuff in the shed. Guess I can back this thing up a bit. I think we gotta do the steering on this bad boy. That is next. Let's get her to steer. Alright, let's assess the game plan here. So we got a neutral safety, our shifter, and we're gonna have to make a mount to hold this thing to the steering column nice, or to the firewall, because she looks a little wobbly. Cool. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut this top part off. I'm going to deal with it after. I can unbolt the bottom and let's see where we get from there. I'm going to have to bring as close to the steering column, I guess, as I can, or to the firewall, to get that wobble joint on so this angle isn't crazy. I guess if we have to, I can just order another double U-joint, but we'll see where we get here. The question whether it's easier if I pull this thing out. That might be. I don't want to, but maybe I have to. Alright, well, let's find out here. I'm going to mark it up here anyway so I know where my firewall is in case I do decide to pull this thing out of the car. Alrighty, let's go to game plan here. Well, this came apart pretty easy. The wiring's all color coordinated, so, well, sort of. Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's pretty, yeah, we'll get her. That's not a big deal. We'll look past that for now. So my plan is, this is close to the firewall, so I'm gonna doodle this. I actually want to cut this out. I might cut it back and do what I was talking about, because that may be the easiest. I can bring this through the firewall as long as my bearing ends up here, or even back a little bit. I'm okay with that. Because this is in the car, so this is totally irrelevant, won't matter. So I'm gonna shave this down until I can fit that bearing in it. Let me find that bearing. All right, we got our bearing. All right. So we got a little bit of work to do, but I'm gonna blindly cut this off first, do a nice straightish cut around there, and I know this is where my firewall is, so as long as this end's poking out of there, I'm gonna be good. I can bring this down, we can do a nice cut, we can do whatever after, but I'm gonna do an initial cut around here and then fit my bearing in it. All right, well, I don't have it in, but I made this to be kind of a press fit, a little overly pressed, but whatever. One-handed is kind of hard. So I'm gonna get this in there, and then I'm gonna measure roughly. This is gonna be, because this is my mark through the firewall. So I'm gonna get this lined up, align it, weld it, and then we can kind of figure out our U-joint and stuff like that. All I'm doing is just gonna run a weld on U-joint, because we can just unbolt it as an assembly off the car. So anyways, let me get this tapped together, and then we'll do the process here of getting this thing all bobbed off. All right, we got the bases of this here now. So yeah, like it steers free. That's all good. I'm probably gonna eventually put a plate on the inside here so I can bolt it to the floor, because it's only supported on this one brace, and the steering box used to hold it. So just so it doesn't, well, it's gonna be floppy. So we need to stabilize this in the car somehow. For this shifter doodad, I don't even know if it's important that it's way out here. Like I can just leave it there, it doesn't matter. I don't think, it's not gonna be in the way of anything. So what I'm probably gonna do is I'm gonna sleeve on top of here the original like column bit that I can zap that thing back on. So I'm just gonna make essentially a hood over top of here up to where the steering mech is, that I can zap the other bracketry onto, and it'll just, I don't know, it'll work. It'll do what I need it to do. I could shorten it up, but I feel nothing's gonna be in the way, so in case I screw up, I guess I can always change it. But all I'm gonna do is slice this sucker in half and kind of plop it over top of here. Yeah, do that first, then I'm gonna figure out, I'm gonna take the column out, the shaft out. I've marked it up here right at the bearing. So then I can actually take this, put it on, weld it on, and see where we are. Yeah, well, basically I want this down here, but I gotta leave a little bit of space because I'm gonna be welding this thing on. So I gotta cut this down first. We know we're here up in this vicinity, so somewhere around here I'm gonna cut this shaft. I'm gonna pull the steering wheel off, then this shaft can come out. I can put this on, do a good weld around this thing, and we can slam it back in the car. Alright, I kind of blindly went at this. I guess we'll put it in and find out. I still have to make the support inside, but the U-joint looks like it works okay. Like it doesn't hit anywhere. So this hood thing is just to hold the shifter parts, so it doesn't have to do much. I'm just going to tack that thing in place. This should put it about close to where the geometry is, other than there's no tube to wrap around. I was trying and it just kept hitting and interfering with my steering, so I'm just going to buzz it on top of there after, once I figure out where I want it. I give it a couple of simple welds that a feller can take off again. If they needed to pull the column, though maybe it fits through that doodad in there, I don't know. Anyways, this is cleaned up and down. Now I'm just going to slide this thing back into the car quick, and we can maybe do a test fit, see how our U-joints will sort of work. And yeah, I don't know. Collar just about there. Then we'll have to just make a mount here for the firewall, because the column is held up here, down here. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Enough babbling. Let's get her in there. Well, from this angle, it looks pretty good. It looks a little, well, this thing's got to go up a hair bit more, but like this U-joint doesn't bind, but that is pretty tight. I think I've pretty much maxed out what you can do with that U-joint, that's for sure. It spins freely though. There's no nothing, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, should be fine. This one doesn't have much wobble, but we need some adjustability. It is tight and completely out of the way of everything though. That's kind of cool. I'll bring it down and we'll see what it looks like from up top. I don't think it'll look any different. Alrighty, let's have a look-see from here. So it's not bad. I mean, man, that angle looks bad, eh? Oh, mind you, the column's got to go back. That's why. This is supposed to be over here somewhere. Let's see if this stuff will stay. Oh, that's much better. The column's actually, well, this U-joint's gonna fall out, but the column's supposed to be like way back there. So that's a much better angle on it. That almost gets it like a straight shot into the steering box, but yeah. Dang, you won't stay there, but either way, that is mint. So I'm gonna make a half plate in there that I can bolt to the firewall to hold the steering column there. This plate doesn't bolt on anymore, so I'm just gonna literally just do a couple quick zaps, and then that'll hold that all together. Just far enough back, I can maybe actually bolt it. I'm not sure. No, whatever. Talking to myself again. I'm just gonna weld it on there. But that'll keep that all together in the same vicinity. Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess I'm gonna have to slice off this e-brake stuff, unfortunately. I don't think I can run any of it, so I'll get rid of this e-brake. I'm gonna cut it right close to the mount. I'm also gonna shave these, because I know they're always in the way. So I'll get those things out of the way, and then I can button up the steering over there, get it bolted back into the car. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with my progress today here. Alright, I made this simple plate now, to which I can go underneath. I'll zap that in place, and I'm going to use the original rubber around the top, like it was originally. Yeah, I doubt you can see. put some kind of light under here. So yeah, the original stuff is gone. This one needs to stay in here because it's a horn. So you can see this foam kind of held in place. This thing's gonna go under here, hold everything in place, and then we'll reapply the foamy thing there just to make the seal after. But that should hold everything where it's got to go, so the steering column doesn't do any weird wibbly wobbly stuff. And I think we can call this sort of done. I'm going to just tack the U-joints because I want to make sure everything's straight. We'll make sure the steering's good and the steering wheel's straight, so we won't make, well, one of them will weld solid, but the other one not so much yet till we can correct that and make sure everything's good. But I'm going to weld that in, drill those holes quick, and then we'll revisit inside and start trimming up the firewall, get rid of the e-brake stuff. Alrighty, mint. Okay, we are good. So, got my U-joints lined up. They're, I don't know, it spins, turns nice, there's no binding. My shifter works. Yeah, let's just clean up the firewall a little bit. And I think I'm gonna call it a day. I just gotta get that cable out. I am gonna bob that and take everything off the firewall over there. I'll cut the rail under there, and I'm just going to slice alongside of this mount. I'm just going to cut it there, and that will be it. Up here I'm not too worried, so maybe by the grommets I'll just kind of come down. I don't know if I'll go right to the top. Well, there we go. We got the firewall cleaned up. Well, it's cleaned up as it's gonna get. So those are smoothed out. That is just tacked in. I'm probably gonna weld up the bottom side quick, and then that way, or actually the top probably. So if I'm off, I can cut the bottom, get the steering straight, make sure it's good once I get a wheel alignment and all that jazz. Once I do all the front end stuff. But for now, I'll be able to kind of try to loosely mock the motor and transmission in there. I kind of got to pull that master cylinder apart so I can kind of modify that. I might do that next. I think that's what I probably should do next. But steering's in, it works. So that's a win. So, well, that's where we're at. So until the next one, as always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.